So it appears as if Israel has told Representatives Omar and Tlaib that they're not welcome to come to the trip. And this has been a big news story. First, predictably, anything to get away from the Epstein story that shows the corruption of our governmental institutions. But whatever, I'll play the game and we'll discuss this story specifically. To me, the story's not just about this. It's about a greater theme that we see happening, and I'll get to it. But on the specifics of this story, the problem is that Tlaib and Omar both believe in the BDS movement, which is boycott, divest, and sanction Israel. They basically don't believe Israel has the right to exist as a country. They think that it should go back to Palestine. They think that we should sanction Israel, boycott Israel. Israel's this terrible place. Now look, I'm not an expert on Middle East politics and exactly what goes on. My feeling is, just from looking at it, that both sides have done terrible things. But I feel that Israel gets a raw deal a lot of times because basically, they're being attacked all the time by terrorists, people coming through their border, people launching rockets across. Now, there's a question of whether they respond with too much vitriol or with too much attack in response, but I don't even care about that at this point. I'm just saying it seems that a country, if we were being attacked by Canada or Mexico like this, we would probably respond with force. It just seems interesting how politics and political correctness means that some people that use attacks are condemned, other people that use attacks are allowed to use them. I think that sometimes that we are too closely associated with Israel, and some of our foreign intervention policies in countries may have been the result of trying to back Israel, which I oppose that. I don't mind Trump moving the embassy to Jerusalem, which Israel claims is their capital. It is the right of a country to claim what their capital city is, so I think Trump was right to do that. So regardless, you can see I have mixed feelings on Israel. I don't support the BDS movement or anything like that. I do support Israel's right to exist, etc. Now, if there's a group of politicians that are saying, we don't think this country has a right to exist, I don't mind that country saying, okay, then we don't want you coming into our country. We necessarily, as the United States, if there were foreign diplomats that were saying, we hate the United States and think it should cease to exist, it should go back to the Native Americans, the government of the United States should be dissolved, I don't think it's incumbent on our government to allow those people entry, because it's conceivable that they'll do something to enact the overthrow of the government. Now, is it a huge deal? I don't think it's a huge deal, but that's generally my feelings on it. To me, though, the greater theme here is this idea that we see occurring over and over again, and I've done videos on this in the past, which is this theme of, it turns out that people want to basically be bullies. They want to attack, they want to claim countries don't have the right to exist, they want to use the most vitriolic language against their opponents, and then, when their opponents respond, they play the victim. We see this all the time. It's like with Trump. They'll say he's a Nazi. They say he's a Russian agent. They say he's a white supremacist. Then when he comes out and says something in kind, they go, oh my goodness, can you believe what Trump said about these people? Trump's so terrible. These poor victims of Trump's rhetoric. Oh my goodness. It's the exact same story over and over. We see this. You see this like with professors on campus that'll say like, white people are the problem. White people are horrible. Then people start like sending to their Twitter accounts like, it's not just academia. You see this all over the place. Rosanna Arquette did this the other. I'm ashamed for being white. Okay, you besmirch an entire group of people. Predictably, you have people that aren't acting appropriately. Some of these people that send her threats or something, that's terrible. But you can't besmirch entire groups of people and then be upset when you're attacked. We see like Chris Cuomo the other day, where someone calls him Fredo. Cuomo and his network have supported the idea when people like Ted Cruz or Sarah Huckabee Sanders or Tucker Carlson gets harangued by a bunch of people. But, predictably, when it happens to them, all of a sudden, now it's a big problem. Now I'm the victim. Oh, this was a racial stereotype. No, it's not. It was just people calling you out. The guy was a jerk that called Cuomo out. But anyways, I feel the same way about Tlaib and Omar here. They say some of the vilest, nastiest things about Israel. I've defended their comments. I said, I don't know that proves that they're anti-Semitic. It's leading to a pattern of it when it's said over and over again. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They just hate the country of Israel, not all Jewish people. Well, at that level, the country of Israel has the right to say not to come here. And Trump has every right to talk to them and say, I wouldn't let them in. They hate your country. And we know exactly, I mean, the very fact that they didn't even mention going to Israel, they said they were going to Palestine, and that was on their itinerary. Even that, I mean, imagine that if Trump was going to Mexico and, he's talking about how Mexico doesn't have the right to exist, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to southern United States, or, whatever, refused to even call the country of Mexico by its name because that's how much he wants that country to cease to exist. People would go nuts. They would say the Mexican government would be nuts to allow Trump in at that point. But Because it's the liberal and because the establishment left controls all of our cultural institutions of power, like the media and academia and the entertainment industry. They control the narrative. And so the narrative becomes, oh, these poor women. They're just innocent, great poor women. I mean, let's not forget, they actually had to pass a resolution condemning all hate speech because the Democrats are too wormy and slimy to actually just condemn hateful rhetoric on their side. So they have to broaden it and say, when someone on the left does something hateful, it's all hate is bad. When someone on the right does something hateful, it is the right is hateful and the right's hate is horrible. And so that's exactly what we see happening here. So I think that, it's a big to-do being made about nothing. Conveniently, it leaves off the big story, right? Epstein, who it looks like now more and more every day, there's so many discrepancies, it looks like he probably was murdered. Nothing to see here, though. The news cycle predictably goes on. Now this is the big story. It's nothing. This story's nothing. But it just goes, I call them crybullies. The people that want to bully and use vitriolic language and attack and attack and attack, and then as soon as someone's responding, they're like, oh my goodness, but I'm a woman. I'm a Muslim woman. How dare you attack me? I don't feel safe as a Muslim woman. Now, when we're calling people Nazis, when we're calling ICE detention centers, concentration camps, and terrorists are attacking them, we're not going to say that our language led to that. But, oh my goodness, when people call us out for it, it's mean. It's just so stupid. So I'm sick and tired of, these two and their rhetoric and the idea that they're playing the victims. This victimhood culture is nonsense. Being a victim is not something to be preferable. I know that that's what the narrative is right now, but it's not preferable, and it doesn't give them any more virtue whatsoever. I don't blame Trump or Israel for saying, we don't want these people in our country, because they would have went, and they would have just said, everything's racist here, the Israeli government's horrible, it's racist, it doesn't deserve to exist, so why give them that PR, to come in and just call you racist to your face? Would you invite someone into your face, into your home, that's just going to call you a racist the whole time, based on no evidence? Of course not, so... If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'll be putting some more videos up, although I am going camping this weekend, so I'll probably not have any content being put up Friday or Saturday night. But thanks, everyone. Follow me on BitChute as well at Robert Noor, and at Twitter at Noor Robert. So thanks, everyone. Have a good one.